Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Skylands Eternal, Season 1, Episode 3. Joining us today are all of our players. One moment while we rearrange the mess that is our little setup here.
All of our players minus one. Thank you so much. All right, while we're waiting on that, let's do a quick recap of when last we met. In the keen minds and ardent spirits. When last we met, the episode opened with Thera the healer making a nice home-cooked meal for the castaways. Entropy the librarian and Lever the tinker went out looking for some clues as to all of their missing gear. They found signs of some small humanoids, possibly aquatic, as well as a very large footprint, all capital letters, with 4 pads and signs of webbing between the toes. While diving near shore, they found a short, rocky drop-off. Painted on it in a sticky tar-like paint was a cryptic symbol. The symbol had a lot of points and looked spiky and dangerous. Entropy consulted their knowledge and thought it looked a little bit like sea elf glyphs. Something like food plus danger equals big danger. The paint showed signs that it had been applied more than once over a long period of time. Upon reporting their findings, the group decided to set up camp farther inland. Good call. Entropy and Whiskey the Rancher scouted for a good site, and then they heard something like a cross between a roar and a cough, then a not human scream, followed by a crunching sound. Whiskey said that they smelled blood and the musk of a large predator, maybe a bear. So they returned to the boat camp at speed, Entropy bearing some edible plants, good for a few rations. Their stockpile of food now stands at 16 person days. To add a layer of defense, Lever improvised a few spear staffs. Whiskey told them that a predator of any size was going to need a big range, bigger than this island, so that they should watch their step. Part of the group went out to check the ancient shipwreck, and that's when Entropy spotted a modern airship approaching. Fast, sail-powered with a short keel. The paint and the sails raised a little concern because dark purple sails and a dark to light gradient on the hull, that's pirates. Pirates use it to approach from high guard. Entropy and Nora are of the opinion that their little ancient shipwreck might actually be a smuggler's cove. So the approaching airship was taut and yar and looked well crewed and well managed. The presumed captain, a tall, broad-built woman, commanded 20 sailors. Upon making groundfall, the captain sent out 4 well-armed patrols of 3 sailors each, while another 5 took up watch and 2 unloaded cargo into the ancient wreck. Our heroes decided to split up, since that always works so well. Entropy and Whiskey saw a sailor get mauled by something very big, very fast, and red in color, and hustled back to base camp. The Skybus captain, Glada, said that the other ship was probably using liftwood to stay aloft, so they wouldn't have any fuel necessary for the bus to get up and going. They thought about trying to hide the seahorse, so they were going to row it down to the sea caves they had spotted earlier, but rowing is so slow, Entropy summoned a water elemental to drag the ship to safety. Upon receiving the command, it immediately took off with the boat, with only Glada and Lever on board. Thinking quickly, Whiskey lassoed the ship, and Entropy grabbed Whiskey. So they all learned how to water ski on Whiskey's face, losing some clothing and some water and some food storage on the trip. Entropy had the elemental steer the seahorse into the largest sea cave, second from the south. While Whiskey coughed up the 97 gallons of seawater they had inhaled, the others investigated the cave, finding 6 large crates and several kegs of various fluids, some of which are kerosene. One of the crates held wax paper wrapped fireworks. Cool. There also were some natural chimneys up out of the cave, one of which has a rolled up rope ladder attached. So the group is possibly expecting search party number 4. Nora and Thera were scouting out and approaching the big airship, and were eventually captured by 3 armed sailors led by a nasty-looking fellow who goes by Schoolboy. They had their hands tied and were prodded toward the ship. What do you do?
Oh boy, there's a whole lot going on.
Oh, yes. So take
Um,
your time.
so you were
I'll
pretty
come back.
sure people were coming towards us, right?
Um, oh, okay. Momento, por favor. Again, the scouting parties were sent out. You've accounted for three of them.
Mm-hmm.
The fourth one is currently in the wind, but since there's a rope ladder and this obviously shows some signs that people have been in and out,
Yeah.
it would make sense that somebody's heading this way.
All right. So we're the fourth search party of the like criminal smuggler people is en route for us. So what are we thinking, guys?
I guess
Hmm.
I can go. Do I notice any anything with the pirate, like anything strange or that I could use against the pirates that are kind of leading me back to the ship?
Such as,
Like any weaknesses in like the rope or the person where like I could possibly get away.
um, let's see. That would be something approximating an observation roll. Go ahead and give me a wisdom roll. Let's see what happens.
Wisdom. Alright, give me a sec. Is it not gonna work? Maybe? Is
Sometimes,
that is that
sometimes
9 my one that I just rolled, or is that from a while ago?
I don't see any current rolls, so
Okay. Um, give me a sec. 2d6. I got a 9.
oh,
Plus 1 is 10.
10. Awesome. Okay. So, three questions that you can ask about the situation that you're in. Let me give you a list. Um,
I had that list somewhere and I lost it.
yes. All right. And I'll put this in the chat here for everybody. So when you observe, take stock for a moment. On a 10 or better, you get three of these questions. On a 7 through 9, you get one. And anytime you act on the answers, you get +1 forward to the actions that you're taking. On a miss, you still get to ask one of the questions, but you're really not going to like the answer. So the questions are in the Roll20 chat, and you don't have to ask them all at once. You can wait for the answer to one before you pick your others.
Okay. What here is useful, valuable, or informational?
Okay. Well, useful, valuable, or informational. Well, since it would be useful for the person who tied you up not to be very, very good at it, we'll just say your hands are tied, but again, um, maybe they're an amateur at it. They didn't tie you up particularly well. Second question.
Okay. Without intervention, what is going to happen next?
Oh, you're going to be marched over to the ship and probably presented to the captain.
Okay.
That would be a pretty fair
Um,
bet.
which adversary is the biggest threat or most vulnerable to me?
Which one? Biggest
Oh,
threat
I
or
have to
most
pick
vulnerable?
one.
Yeah,
Um, biggest threat.
biggest threat. Definitely schoolboy. Um, of the people around you. Definitely schoolboy. very sharp-eyed, and the he's got a lot of knife scars on the one arm, but none on his face. So he probably knows how to use that dagger really, really well. And he basically hasn't taken his eyes off of either one of you um, while you're marching.
Okay.
Last question.
I thought I only got 3.
Oh, I'm sorry. Got ahead of myself. Okay,
I'm
so
down to ask a 4th.
I mean, take it.
I shouldn't have corrected you.
see,
No.
taking advantage of the old man here. I see how you are. Okay, so yeah, so your bonds are slightly loose. You think they're marching you back to the captain, and Schoolboy is the most dangerous foe. Are you and again, if you act on any of those pieces of information, you can get +1 forward to that action. Are you doing anything at this point?
I think I'm gonna try and seem as non-threatening as possible as they are marching us back to the ship.
Cool,
Because I don't want to get on Schoolboy's bad side.
Yes. Yes. Um, okay. Okay. So if you don't take any steps to get free, you are in fact marched over to the shipwreck camp. Again, there's a ramp down, a gangway down to the other airship, and standing at the head of it
Farewell.
is the tall, broad-built captain. She's got a saber on her hip and a broad-brimmed hat. Looks fairly wind-burned. And as they come up, all the sailors grab their forelocks. Captain, we found some spies here. Ah, good work, schoolboy. Bring them aboard. And she turns and walks toward the stern of the ship. You are poked and prodded along with guards. The two that were unloading cargo have stopped by this point. But the 5 watchers are still scanning the island and the tree line and the air. So you now have 6 guards on you.
Uh-huh.
The captain doesn't go into the stern castle, just leans up against one of the stern rails. So what Schoolboy has showed up for teacher with something other than apples. Looks at you. What's your name, little apple?
I'm blinking. What's the cap? This isn't my character talking. I'm just asking a question personally. What's the captain's name?
You don't know.
No, like the one we crashed with.
Gletta. Really?
That's so mean.
Oh, throwing under the bus.
You think I'm telling her my own name?
That's it's a her.
You think I'm telling her my own name?
See, the funny thing is, little apple, I know a Gletta. Gletta is a not particularly bright little goblin dude. Runs a absolutely held together by baling wire and a prayer little airship. Well, it's not airboat, air raft. And so you're very obviously not a goblin, and you're very, oh, I'm very interested in knowing how you know that name. Let's see, what was Gletta doing last? Oh, yes. passenger service to the big city. Mm-hmm. So, now that we've learned something, let's try again. And as I command this vessel, don't lie to me, please. I find it offensive. What was your name?
I mumble, Sarah.
Again, this time aloud. Use Mr. Tongue, Mr. Teeth, and Mr. Lips. Together they form words. Sing it.
I'm sorry, the way you
No.
say it is just making me.
Let's
Sarah,
make it easy.
Sarah.
Let's make it easy. I'll start. Little apples, you may call me Captain. Not the name
I'm
that I
sorry, could you repeat that for the
Yeah, you
mic?
cut out.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Just one more.
Doffs her hat, Captain Blackjack Forbes, and does this cool little thing so it's all of a sudden back on her head, looking cool, hip, and groovy. Blackjack Forbes, not the name I was born under, but one I answer to now. You may call me Captain or be thrown overboard from a height. So, what was your name again, little apple?
Sarah.
What?
Sarah.
Sarah. Oh, that's a beautiful name. I'll just good call, Sarah. Good call. You know what happens to apples, right? They hang off of trees. So, who was with Sarah? Was that Nora?
Sarah
It was-
was with Nora, yeah.
Yeah.
Nora. All right. Since Nora is currently not with us, sorry, faithful viewer. We're hoping for their return soon. Nora makes her introductions and is quickly ignored by the good captain. So, imagine my surprise, Sarah and Nora. Running a thriving enterprise, I arrive at one of my impromptu warehouses in the Sea District, well off the Skylands, or so I thought. I trot down into my little humble abode and find that somebody has left me a very nice note saying that they had been there and they were terribly sorry for interrupting anything and terribly sorry for trespassing, as I recall, and gave me quite good directions to your campsite.
Does Sarah know that they did that? Like, did they tell Sarah?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was so 10 out of 10 for politeness. Minus several billion for good sense, I'm afraid. The problem is this, little apples. I am trying to run a business here, and it's very unkind to competition. So I can tell by your bright and shining little faces that you would never, ever, ever tell anyone where the good captain had been storing some of her merchandise. Oh. I'm sorry. Where are my manners? Please accept my invitation and hospitality aboard this beautiful vessel, the Seawolf. Please consider yourselves my guests for the duration. Schoolboy and a couple of the other ones basically pick you up by the shoulders and hustle you below decks. Are you doing anything as they grab you and manhandle you? They're being polite about it. They're not getting all, creepy.
Polite manhandling.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
I was gonna
Excuse me.
say.
Coming through. Let me just sneak by you here. Oh,
Pardon
excuse
me. Ooh.
There.
Oh dear.
That would be the weirdest thing ever, being shanghaied by Midwestern pirates. Wouldn't that be? Oh, hey, you're gonna have to give us your cargo, eh? Yeah. Oh, hold on. Let me.
Watch your elbows. Make sure to wear your seatbelt.
A major hot dish over here. Yeah,
Stereotypical
that'd be great.
Canadian
Oh
pirates.
yeah. You betcha. Yeah. All right. Yeah. See ya. All right. So, are you doing anything while they lay? Sorry, I have a cat taking up residence behind me. Doing anything while they grab you and bring you below decks?
I mean, we got a good thing going here. Why ruin it? I don't want
When
to mess everything up.
when Sarah like when they go to grab Sarah, she just like violently flinches away.
Oh, you don't like to be touched. I can respect that. Schoolboy, would you just escort our two little apples down into the hold, please? And again, you're vaguely poked and prodded. They take you below decks. You do have to. How tall are you?
How tall did I make her? I know she's tall.
Oh, she's tall. Okay, you do have to.
Tall and slender is how
Okay,
I have it listed. So let's say 5'10",
5'10".
5'11" ish.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I have a slightly different definition since my mom was 6 feet by the time she was 15. But
I'm 5'5".
um, teehee. So they bring you below decks. Watch your head, and they take you to the brig. Basically, it's a sectioned off part of the mid-level. Unlocks the cell door, ushers you in, locks it behind you. There's sort of a oh yeah, there's yeah, you're in a jail cell basically. More details provided as necessary. But and one of the sailors picks up watch outside the cell. The others retreat up to the deck. Next up, we'll head over. Our camera flies through and shore to a sea cave, water lapping at the shoreline on a sandy beach inside this beautiful cave. The sun is lowering since the airship arrived mid-morning, and now it's mid-afternoon. And the tide has gone out. So the seahorse, unless you can get her aloft, which would be a trick inside of a sea cave, but the seahorse is grounded until high tide. What are you all doing? You've got 6 crates of stuff, one of which is fireworks. You've got a bunch of kegs of liquids, two of which were kerosene. What do you do?
So we were like, we have everything to repair the ship now. The only thing we don't have is Farah. So
Right. Yeah, Thera and Nora are in the wind. So I'm hearing that you're loading up the kerosene tanks on the ship.
yeah, and while they
Okay.
can I have maybe like sorry, 1 second. Maybe like leather and whiskey, and and what is this? What's the other character's name?
We got lever, whiskey, entropy,
Did one of
Ern,
you change your names?
Ern
Ern.
LaRoche, the trapper.
Oh, it's just the last name. It's the
Right.
last name. Sorry,
Gotcha.
last name threw me off.
Gotcha.
And but I'll be like, well, maybe we should try to distract. Maybe we should try to distract the people they're coming while the rest of us load on the ship. So make a distraction without being seen. You know.
I might be good at the not being seen part, but I'm not too good on distractions.
I wouldn't say that I'm the best at not being seen. I could certainly try.
We're in a jungle, right?
Correct. Yeah, you just have to sit down and no one will see you there.
Yeah.
Lever.
Maybe a few of us could go up, scream at them, and then take off into the jungle while they chase us?
And then loop back around here
why
for
are-
the boat?
Maybe, but we don't really want to lead him right to us. We'd have to throw him first.
We don't really want to, we don't really want you all to get seen, too, if we need to negotiate for Thera.
Well, you don't actually know what happened to Nora and Thera. They're off.
They could be dead for all we know.
They're off scouting,
Pretty much.
basically. So,
Oh, I thought we knew they got caught, because we were all in the same area.
were you?
No, you guys left before we got caught.
Yeah.
We did think they were out scouting. So we'll loop around the front for... We need to loop around to where they were, because we know where they were.
Okay.
But we just need to buy some time while we finish refueling the ship.
Okay. So, who's going to be actually doing the refueling work?
I can help. I'll be an extra set of hands.
Okay.
But I might need some more muscular assistance, if you know what I mean. Whiskey.
Yeah. Yeah. Gletta,
clearly lever.
yes. Yeah. Lever's like 2
Lever's
feet
the real
tall. Yeah. Yeah.
Lever is clearly not stealthy at all. I
And
mean,
he is pure muscle.
Yes.
Can Lever
Whiskey,
just like have the strength proportions of an ant and just lift like 10 times his body weight?
yes. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the proportionate strength of an ant. He just has the strength of an ant. So he's currently struggling to move a couple of sunflower seeds. I'm kidding. All right, Whiskey. You're feeling a lot better now that you've managed to catch a good breath. Gletta is of the same opinion, needing a strong set of hands to carry kegs of kerosene. So that's happening. Gletta does a quick count while you're loading the tanks, and he doesn't think you're not going to be able to go far, but he thinks he could get you back into the main sky lanes and at least get seen, and not have to worry about
Pirates.
crashing again. So he's checking and rechecking the fuel lines and whatnot. So then all we have to do is grab everybody, wait till high tide, sail her out, up and off.
Yep.
So, so that's proceeding apace. Anybody who's not helping out with the fuel loading, what are you doing?
Well, I guess I could walk around the area for a bit. Maybe
Beautiful,
see what if I can try and look for the people who just went out
beautiful,
scouting and haven't come back.
beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so that sounds like a um, hmm. That almost sounds like a scouting thing. You're a tracker and a trapper,
I have
correct?
hunt and track ability.
Beautiful. Go ahead and give that a try. See if you can find any signs of anything.
All right. Um. Oh
Okay.
no.
So that's a 6. Do you have a bonus to that roll? Or is that
It's
already?
I have +2, but I don't know if it's already put into the score.
Let's take a look at your character and I can tell you. Yeah, it's already got that built in. Okay, so mark experience. Um, well, um, you actually find a trail. It's several sets of footprints. And one of the sets goes off to the right. Smaller feet than the usual. Could be, it's still like mannish. It's still like boots or shoes or something. It's not barefoot, but the feet are decidedly smaller, and it catches your attention. So you follow it around, and you only realize that you've been led in a big circle when you feel the knife in your back, not in your back, but at your back, and the other 3 people step out of the bushes. There's a little laugh behind you. Sounds very feminine, almost sweet, actually. the voice behind you says, "No funny business, mister. I got you covered, and I think you like your kidneys."
Oh,
So
Damn.
the other three approach, and if you don't do anything, they're going to tie you up. Do you do anything to
And take your
resist?
kidneys, I guess. Jeez.
Mhm.
Now you
so the
don't
knife
need
is
all
only
my
at my
hesitation.
back,
You can feel
right?
it. You can feel it pressing in right above your kidney.
All right. I don't know if I feel like risking that, so I might just let them tie me up.
Okay, cool. So you're tied up. The leader of this little war band is this tiny pixie-ish type person. Um, he's got. She looks like a steampunk Peter Pan, like 4'11", probably 50 pounds soaking wet. No, she's a little. I don't know what a 4'11" person would weigh. Anyway, but slim, very elfin, great energy. Looks like she's just going to leap up into the sky and fly around. And if those are happy thoughts, you don't want to see the ugly ones. She's got way too many knives, like 3 down the front, 1 in each hip, probably 1 in each boot. Oh, what a pretty little thing. Pretty little thing. You tower over her. Oh, what a pretty little thing you are. Oh, the captain's going to be so, so, so happy that we found you. Do you have any little friends? We
Well,
we
I
found
can
found a lot of tracks.
see you're a knife buff. I can respect that. But yeah, I can't say that I have anyone I'm traveling with. I got
Oh,
separated from a main group of about, say, maybe 2 others.
uh-huh.
I
Okay.
take it they're missing because of you.
Me or people like me. So the
Oh,
captain's always sets a good watch. Um, if you'll forgive me for not believing any word you say, uh, Chuck, check. Get him back to the ship. I'm going to take Laris here, and we're going to go looking. So Chuck and check. Chuck and check. It's hard to tell which one is bigger, which one is uglier, or which one is just they're they absolutely look nothing alike, like nothing alike except for height and like bulk. But looking at them's like looking at salt and pepper. You're like, these two guys just go together. I don't know why. And they kind of frog march you back along the trail. Um, and you do think you hear the other one, Laris, call the other one Pixie, of all things. I guess if you want people to call you that. So we got Chuck, we got Jack, we got Laris, and we've got Pixie, as well as Captain Blackjack. Uh, I forgot the last name. I wrote it down. Forbes, Captain Blackjack Forbes, Scourge of the Airways. All right. So, LaRoche leaves your little cave there, disappears into the underbrush, and doesn't come back. um, so the seahorse is currently fully loaded with as much kerosene as you actually have. Excuse me. And you're waiting. You do have 5 crates that you haven't inspected. And what did we say? 5 crates and probably 4 kegs of some various liquids.
Yeah, did we hear any of that happening? I presume not. I presume it's too far away, right?
Too far away, you're in a cave, ocean noise,
Okay.
birds going rah, rah, rah,
So,
ow, ow.
we'll pop open the other crates and keep loading this stuff.
Okay, beautiful. Since that'll be a freebie for you. Let's see. Juno,
Mhm.
your crate. Do you want something useful, valuable, or informational?
Useful.
Useful. Let's see. What would be something when I think useful, I think like tools, clothes, repair items.
Yeah, like,
Uh,
so do we only need gas for the ship? Because I know we had the tar, but if we needed more stuff, like if we need more gas to get where we need to actually go, it could
okay.
be more gas, or it could be something like that we don't even know is useful yet that will help us rescue our companions.
Oh, oh,
I don't know if I like those O's.
Like a
yeah.
bargaining chip or something. Something
Like,
valuable to the captain.
um, huh, yeah. This crate actually is completely, um, almost completely filled with straw.
Straw.
Okay. Yeah, with straw. And it's basically straw as the packing peanuts of the
Mm-hmm.
age. So there's another tiny little um, mini crate, a small chest sitting in the middle of it like an egg.
Yeah, I dig it up.
Um, okay, it turns out to be unlocked. Inside of it, you find a key that looks like it actually fits the thing. So maybe this was a gift of some sort. You don't know. Um, Several books, all of the same size and color. They look like journals or diaries or something. You also find a sextant, if you don't know what a sextant
Yes, it's
is.
for ships.
Yep. And let's see.
That is useful.
Yeah, yeah, that's about it.
I
Um,
I will
Go ahead.
pocket the books because I am the librarian. I love books. Oh, this is
You're just going to put them away without looking at
no.
them.
I'll look at them first.
Oh,
I'll look at them first.
okay.
Put on my gloves, my book
The
gloves.
they're actually leather of a type you haven't seen. You think, I mean, it's obviously got a scale to it, like snakeskin, something similar. It's a very fine grain blue leather, that's scaly to the touch. It's not unpleasant. In fact, it's kind of grippy. The first one you pick up is the one that's mostly used. This is a journal. Um,
Hmm.
it's it is the seventh. It says at the beginning, volume 7. This is apparently a journal, quick perusal, some sort of air captain. Okay. Um, day 928 spotted, fill in the blank, stopped off at so and so to pick up cargo supplies, this and this and this. Um, the next book you open is actually the previous journal. This person, whoever it was, kept excellent notes on places they went, people they saw. Um, the the first 5 pages of each is dedicated to like contacts. Met so and so, started a business arrangement with so and so on this date and this location. You know, broke ties with this supplier on this date for this reason, that sort of thing. But the rest of it's just a journal. The third book is very unusual. You can't really read it. I mean, it's obviously in the characters that you expect. Um, your gut instinct is that it's some kind of code, um, but it's unusual. There are sketches and drawings, and the sketches and drawings have like angular marks. Um, and again, cryptic little notations, numbers and letters, and yeah, you have no idea what this is, but it's fairly, it's the same kind of thing, and it's about 3/4 full of notes of some kind.
Well, I love puzzles, but I don't know if this is the right time to do it. But perhaps I'll show our captain the other books that I have that aren't encrypted. Because they might help them to know who this could be written from, because they're a captain.
Good call. Good call. All right, so you show it to Gletta, and his eyes bug. What is that? And he opens it and flips through it. If I live to be 109, I will never hold anything more valuable than this in my hands. Where did you find this?
What is it?
Do you know what a rudder is?
I don't believe so. I'm not too familiar with ship terms.
Okay, so the rudder on a sailing vessel, the rudder is how you get to where you need to go, right? It steers you.
Mm-hmm.
A rudder is a captain's personal like piloting maps and notes for getting into and out of places. Okay. I don't have one because my route is pretty straightforward. But so opens up the book to just a random sketch. It's like, okay, I have no idea where this is, but it's got the big square marking a location.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just at random. Let's say these squiggly lines are like, I don't know, cliffs. Okay.
Yeah.
They're cliffs. All right. Well, the wind is going to hit that weird at certain times of the day, certain times of the seasons, right? So maybe these little squiggles here say, oh, when you come in winter, you got to stay off those cliffs because the winds just want to slam you right into them. However, in summer, there's a really nice updraft there. So if you get too close, it's going to push you straight through the clouds, et cetera, et cetera. So every single one of these little maps and notes and things is somebody's secret way of knowing how to get into and out of flip a double dozen places.
It looks
This
like there's
and
quite more of these than just these. Because this one
I
says
feel like
7.
Sarah could use that book right now.
I'm sorry, what?
I feel like Sarah could use that book right now.
I
I didn't
mean,
catch-
How to
it's
get out
not
of
for
places.
it's for flying, not for escaping.
Still.
Yeah. But yeah, and again, rudders are hoarded. A good captain would rather slap his mom than give up their rudder, because the rudder, it's their total professional knowledge of every place they've been, and maybe some of the places are secret, maybe some of the places, no, that's incalculably valuable to anybody who can interpret it.
That'll help us
So
get to shore easier then, right?
I don't understand a word of it.
I'm
Wait,
pretty
wait,
sure
wait.
I could decode it with time. I mean, I am a librarian after all. I've had to do other things like this before.
Maybe we could work together. Okay. I'm worried about that. Okay, you hang on to it. When we have a few hours, I'll flip through it and see if I can tell if any of the maps are something that I recognize.
Yeah.
Like, okay, and from there we might be able to, and from what I know of that place, we might be able to figure out what their code is. I don't know though. Some of these captains are really clever when it comes down to it. All right.
Also found the sextant.
Yes. Oh, may I? That's nice.
Yeah, it's got like gold embellishments.
Oh, and it's light as a feather. Oh my gosh, he's looking. Oh, this is This is some precision engineering here. This is beautiful. Oh my gosh. I mean, okay, this is the second most valuable thing I've held in two hands. Yeah, put it back in the box. I'm getting nervous.
No, but we can use it.
Yes, we can. But
Not in the
I need
box.
to just keep it safe. If I drop it overboard, I'll cry for a week.
All
All right.
right.
Is anybody else doing any searching now that time is starting to drag on? Whiskey, what are you doing?
Can I ask if we know if there's any other caves nearby us? Like, is it a series of caves or just the one?
Well, first of all, you can always ask. Second of all, on the map there, we've got several caves. You're in the second one, the one that's marked with blue. Looks like there are 1, 2, 3, 4 other sea caves. The only reason that y'all picked this one to bring in the seahorse is because this one had the highest roof to bring her in. So yeah, there are a number of them north and south of you along that shoreline. What do you do?
Okay, I'm just thinking in terms of escape from people looking for us, hiding. In terms
You
of
could
hiding,
certainly scout those. You could take a peek and see if they have more stuff in there too, or if it's just this one.
I was thinking we'd like take the ladder down and we like move it to another cave.
Oh,
It's like
you're
we were
very
never
So you
clever.
might
here. It's a
trick.
different cave.
Yeah, you might
You're
trick
very
them.
clever.
We
You're
can put like
very-
an empty barrel, pretend we looted it.
Yep.
You are so smart. Okay, so that's going to be a straight intelligence roll just to see how well you pull that one off and if you do it in time.
I don't
So
know
go-
about that. Can I give?
well-
Can I give?
What am I?
Can I give Shuffle a +1 forward or something?
Or if you want to tell Shuffle about the plan and have them execute it, sure.
Yeah.
But they are going to.
Yeah. You can be my. You can do the muscle. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do the heavy
yeah.
lifting.
I'll
they-
take the ladder down.
Okay. So go ahead and give me an intelligence roll, please.
What am I rolling?
Intelligence. It's 2d6 plus your intelligence bonus.
Okay. I definitely remember how to roll.
You can go. There's
Just like,
the dice over to the. It looks like a d20 over to your left. Click on that, and it'll give you options for rolling dice. Or you can do /R space 2d6, and that should do it. Like this. /R 2d6. Boom. Actually, that was 2d5. Sorry. Okay, a 4. Awesome. Mark experience. Whiskey.
yeah.
Okay, so as you're up there loosening the stakes that are holding the rope ladder in place, you're pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling. One of them comes up really easy. The other one you're struggling with. When you pull it out, you fall. Would you like to fall quietly, with some pain involved? Or would you like to make a lot of noise, potentially drawing unwanted attention, and have it not hurt nearly as badly? Your call.
Here's what I'm envisioning.
I'm sorry?
Here's what I'm envisioning.
Okay.
I'm pulling out the stake. I fall down.
Uh-huh.
Boom. Head hits the rock. I get up, I'm like, God. And then
What was I doing again?
Okay.
exactly.
I'll
And
tell
then
you this.
Entropy just like slaps a hand over my mouth.
Okay, I'll tell you this. You're either going to fall down the hole that this thing serves, and that was going to be a big owie, but quiet, or you're going to fall down the hill and crash through a couple hundred bushes and leaves and fronds and ferns and things, but it's not going to hurt as much. Your call. Which way'd you fall?
Big owie, big owie.
Big owie. Okay, go ahead and give
Big
me.
owie. Entropy came in with the save.
Beautiful. Go ahead and give
I'm
me a
pushing
D8.
you.
Go ahead and give me a D8, please.
D8?
Damage.
Yay. Can I roll my own?
Yes, you always do. I don't roll any
Or I
dice.
meant like my at-home dice.
Oh, sure. I'll trust you.
Yay.
Oh, it's a
5.
cool dice.
5. Ow, that hurts a lot. Falling damage, you don't apply armor, so go ahead and take 5 points of damage. How are you feeling?
5 hit points?
Correct.
Man, that's
Well,
all my hit points.
were you at 5?
Yes.
What's your tough, buddy?
Uh-oh.
I
I
don't
don't think
know.
you've taken damage yet.
I'm
so.
sorry. What's your constitution? Sorry.
Oh, it's 13
Okay, plus what? What's the bonus?
plus 1.
Plus 1. Okay. So since you started with a career as opposed to a playbook, your hit points are 7 plus your tough bonus. So you have 8 hits.
Oh, then I
So
have 3.
have 3. Ow. Okay. So
Owie.
the rest of you sitting there on the ship waiting for something to happen are kind of amused, kind of horrified, watching Whiskey fall very quietly but very painfully whack onto a flat rock underneath that. However, you did succeed in getting that that rope ladder loose. So Whiskey's a little out of it right now, might have a bit of a lie down, might have a bit of a concussion, we don't know. What's everybody else doing to further the plan?
I guess it's been a while since they came back, right? So they've been gone for a while.
Yes, they are now.
I'll peek up I'll peek up to see if they're around or not.
How are you going to do that?
Well, has the ladder been taken down yet?
Yes, the ladder has been taken down.
So when we put it up in the new place, I'll peek
Okay.
up.
The new, unless you're standing on somebody's shoulders, there's the sea cave that you're looking at only has one of those natural chimneys. So unless you're standing on someone's shoulders, you're actually going to have to go out, climb up the side, and put it in from the top. So how do you plan on affecting that?
Instead of going all the way over to do that, I will pull a crate, one of the crate that I emptied that's full of straw because it'll be light over, and I'll stand on the crate and hang it up.
Okay, beautiful. That works for me. So yeah, actually, you're going to have to climb out of there anyway. Otherwise, you're not going to have any leverage to pound the stakes in. But you can.
Okay, I'll make it look like it's supposed to be there, but the stakes don't need to be pounded in. I mean, if we aren't taking the ladder.
Oh, very clever, very clever. Oh, so just kind of roll it up nice with the stakes there all ready to go.
Yeah, I'll make it
cool.
look like it is the right ladder, but
cool.
if they try to climb down, they might have a tumble. I get inspired by Whiskey taking a tumble.
Nice.
Thank you. Not as young as I used to be.
Aren't we all? Just not quite as young as we used to be. All right, so Whiskey, you seem to be back conscious and all that good stuff, so that's definitely a helpful place to be. Let's see. So what's everybody else doing? Lever, you've got one of your kind of spears at hand. And there's a lot of stuff, a whole lot of nothing going on. What is everybody else doing now that Whiskey and Entropy have got the ball?
I'm going to attach some fireworks to the spear.
We do have fireworks.
You do have fireworks.
And if it comes to it, I could throw it as like a distraction.
That is very true.
Like the fireworks and just launch the.
That is very true.
Most deadly makeshift weapon.
Are you trying to make like a big like fire arrow? Or are you trying to launch a stick? Are you trying to launch a stick that goes boom when it gets to where it's going? What's your vision of this?
Stick go boom.
So fly and go boom, or you huck it and it goes boom.
Huck it and go boom.
Okay, that's very, very, very easy to do. So you've got basically a small bundle of large fireworks attached to the end of this sort of spear. What's everybody else doing?
Oh, we don't even have to roll for that?
Oh, you're a tinker. I mean, it's
That's fair.
basically, I'm thinking if I could do it, if a broadly, slightly above average intelligent person could do it with duct tape, yeah, I'm not going to make you roll for that. That's just silly. And this is something that you do for fun and for business. So yeah, that's a minor effect. Whether it works very well, that's going to be a roll. But the actual doing it, that's no big deal at all. All right, so back at the ship, Thera, Nora is just beside herself. She's just rocking gently and just hands over her face. Doesn't seem to be like, you know, hyperventilating or anything, but she's just not all there. So you're pretty much on your own. What are you doing?
Trying to think. Uh, is there anything in the cell with us?
Well, yes. There is a covered bucket. That's probably going to be used for the appropriate bodily activities.
Does the bucket smell?
Yeah, it's been
Okay.
cleaned. It's been cleaned. Again, the captain apparently runs a pretty taut ship, but there is just a vague lingering odor of ammonia and other sorts of things. There are a couple of tiny little bunks that fold down out of the wall, held up by chains, and there's a latch to unfold them. Um, this basically is a large closet with a barred window on a door, suitable for looking into. And otherwise, it's just like shipboard accommodation for sailorly types. Um, yeah, there's no table, no chairs, nothing like that. So Nora unfolds the top bunk, climbs up into it. There's a folded thin blanket that she curls up in and maybe goes to sleep or just stops moving.
Um,
What do you do?
is the guy watching us like actively watching us, or is he slacking off?
Well, he's not like standing there looking in the window or anything because it's a small barred window. Oh, there is also a small flap, like a cat door, cut into the door, probably for slipping plates of food and whatnot. Um, so yeah, you hear him cough a couple of times. Um, but so he's there and he's whistling actually.
But if I try and pick a lock, would he notice?
Well,
Like, is he paying attention enough?
okay, there isn't actually a lock on this door. It's barred from the outside. So if you stuck your arm out the hole and were trying to lift the bar or something, um, that would probably be of notice. Also, you've just now had your eyes accustomed to the. Oh wait, what's your heritage? Your
I
devil
believe.
kin, right?
I'm the Devilkin one, I believe.
I'm an elf.
But
Oh,
elves
okay.
also tend to have dark vision.
I got into a debate about that actually. With with good night vision. There's only two types of creatures that have good night vision. Prey species and obligate carnivores. So either elves, if they have good night vision, they're either
Prey species
predators.
or predator.
Yeah, they're either predators or a prey species. And the person who said, "Oh, they might be prey," I said, "Congratulations, you've just invented an apex predator that can hunt sentient creatures." So, hey, elves, you want to go out in the dark? No, there are monsters out in the dark that eat us. No, we stay right here by the fire. Dwarves shouldn't have good night vision either. It makes more sense that they have good hearing. Anyway, so yes, you have fairly effective low light adaptation, so you can see fairly well. But it does take a minute to adapt from daylight to below decks.
Okay.
So now, if you have a slim little blade, maybe you might be able to stick it between the door and the doorway.
They
Slide
didn't
it up.
take anything, right?
Any obvious weapons they would have taken.
Because I have a locket and why is my bio and info not showing up? Nope, oops, wrong area. Where are my...
You have a locket and a what?
I'm trying to find where my, here it is. I do have a dagger.
Okay, that would have been lifted from you if it was any place obvious.
No, it was like strapped, like, because I'm wearing like a very short skirt. It was like strapped under the skirt.
Yeah, they probably would have frisked you. Give me a luck roll. Just roll 2d6, no modifier.
Alright, let's see this.
Okay. Decent luck, but not great luck. Oh, okay. The person who was like patting you down found the locket first, and it got their attention, so they didn't find the dagger. So, but you
Okay.
don't have the locket anymore.
Okay. I'm gonna need that back.
Yeah. So while you're thinking about that, back at the camp, let's see. Entropy, since you're in the other cave finishing up by yourself, and Whiskey, since you didn't go far from the natural chimney above you, you both hear some movements up above you. And in one case, a couple of pebbles bounce down around Entropy.
I lean against the cave wall because it is darker colored and I'm purple, so I try to blend in, and I'll grab my 50 feet of hemp rope.
Okay.
Yeah, wait in case people fall down.
Okay. Since it is kind of a natural chimney up there, as long as you're not standing directly below it, you think you're okay. You do think you hear somebody mutter something about somebody pulled up these stakes. Anyway, you hear some more movement above. Sounds like somebody is pounding stakes into the ground a safe distance away from the natural chimney there. They're probably going to be done soon, and they're probably going to be throwing the rope ladder down the hole What do you do?
While they're pounding the steaks, I'll use the noise to get back to Whiskey and the captain. And since we already
Beautiful.
packed all the stuff, I'll be like, we need to go.
Go ahead and give me a dexterity roll, please.
All right, it's 2d6, correct?
Correct. Usually 2d6.
That is a 9.
Okay, so partial success. Okay, so you've got you're on your way out.
Would I have a +1 forward for this because of my earlier preparation? Out of curiosity.
Your earlier preparation.
Yeah, because we moved the boxes and stuff, and we knew people were coming.
Actually, that adds to the problem. What happens is you're doing fine. You're sneaking. When you feel a sudden tug, and you realize that some of your gear, clothing or the rope or something, has gotten wedged between some rock and one of those crates. Okay. So you're either going to have to, and the rope ladder you're right near the mouth of the sea cave. The rope ladder just dropped into the cave, and it's moving back and forth like somebody's coming down it. If you don't want to make any noise, you're going to have to ditch whatever got snagged
I will ditch
behind
the
you.
rope then.
Ditch the rope. Okay. Write that down. All right. And you are out of the sea cave and heading back to the base heading back to the second cave to tell everybody that somebody's coming.
Yeah.
All right. So, let's see. So, Whiskey, Liver, Ryan. Oh no, Ryan's gone. Oh, yeah, LaRoche, you were marched back to the ship.
Yep.
And again, introduced to Captain Forbes. She says something about the apples keep falling from the trees. You noticed there's two of the sailors who are actually bringing things on board. The deck, they're lashing things to the rail and hustling things below decks. Sarah, you hear some activity going on. Apparently, instead of dropping stuff off here, the crew is engaged in loading up the ship a little heavier than before. So whatever happens there. All right. So LaRoche, the captain interviews / interrogates you. You've got a lot of big and ugly people around looking to do big and ugly things to you. So I've got two of your little friends below decks. They are currently unharmed, as are you. If you would all three like to stay that way, I suggest you do everything the nice sailors and the nice captain tell you to do. All right. If you
No problems there.
If you hear anybody talk about Captain Forbes, that's me. If I hear anybody talking about you, that's a problem. Savvy?
I think we're clear. Crystal clear.
Excellent. Excellent. So they march you below decks. There is a thud. The guard sailor looks in. If you're too close to the door, Thera, he says you got to step back or I can't open this. And we've got something out here you want. And the door opens. Lots of guards with lots of pointy things, and they push LaRoche into the cell with you. Close, clunk.
At least I found you.
Mm-hmm. Sarah's pissed right now, if you can't tell. She got her locket taken away.
Oh, yeah, LaRoche, if you had any obvious weapons, those were borrowed, something old,
Yeah.
something new,
Yeah, no,
something
Sarah looks very
stolen.
pissed when you walk in.
A sling and some ammo for it.
Okay. All right. So, about that time, Gletta's been looking outside, and the sea is coming lapping in. He says high tide should be here any minute, or at least enough that we can get ungrounded. I'm going to start up the fires for the gas bag, and I'm going to start up the fires for the. Oh wait. I'm going to start up the engines first, or at least get them prepped. I've never done this before, but we might be able to like blow behind us on the water and get out, and then get the gas bag up and moving. So, anybody who doesn't look busy, he's going to have you arrange things so that that can happen. What are you doing? We got whiskey, entropy, and lever.
All right. Hey, Lover, what happened to Aaron?
And
Aaron, what happened to Aaron? Sorry.
No,
You're
It's all good.
I don't know. They went out to do something.
I thought we were like sticking together. Did he just disappear?
Think he was looking for the others?
Oh,
I
he
made a bomb.
went off to look for people? You made a bomb? Should we be...
Lever like holds up the spear like over his head with both hands. He's like, I made a bomb.
Should we have that on board?
yes.
Yeah, why wouldn't we have a bomb?
I mean, it is fueled by kerosene, and I could kind of see a problem with that.
That's fine. You gotta light it on purpose. That's how bombs work.
Oh, in that case, I'm sure it'll be fine.
That turned out out of
Famous
character.
last
That
words.
was a lot meaner than I intended for it to be.
But it seems like Entropy believes you.
He's like
Famous last words. Oh, that should be fine.
He was like genuinely confused as to why that question was asked. He's like, "You have to light a bomb. What do you mean?"
So,
Oh, then it should be fine.
whiskey. What are you doing?
Are you feeling any
You know
better,
how it feels to
Whiskey?
get. You know how it feels to get kicked in the head by a cow?
No?
I can't say that I've ever had that happen to me.
It's about how I'm feeling.
Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch.
Well,
Okay.
I'm not really a healer. That's more Farah's expertise.
Well, depends on if you want to try it.
I can certainly try. I mean, but what if I light you on fire on accident? That would be really bad.
Don't cast a fire spell.
I mean, I don't know if I've done water and. Okay, I'll try it. I'll try it.
Okay. Just a generic healing spell. Awesome. Yep. Go ahead and give me a
Can't be the worst thing I've been through.
Go ahead and give me a spell casting roll.
That is a 12.
Oh, wonderful. All right. Whiskey, give me a D8, please.
All right. 7.
7.
Heal
okay.
me, whatchamacallit.
Yay. So, actually, you feel much better.
Ooh.
Much better. Haven't felt this good in quite a long time.
My God, I think.
So.
Oh, I can move my back.
Tee-hee.
Oh my goodness.
So Captain Gladys says, "Are you feeling better?" Are you feeling
Well,
better?
you know, when I was younger, my mama, you know, whenever we got sick, she gave us a strong, hard glass of alcohol, you know? Really woke you up in the morning.
Oh.
Always got me over my fever. This feels like that, but better.
All right. So I'll ask again. Are you feeling okay?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. Get out and push, please. We got to get off this stand. All right.
All right.
So,
You don't waste any time, do you, Captain?
so Gletta, again, in his tiny little Captain Bligh role, he's, hoist the thing, not that thing, the other thing. You get the seahorse back on the water. And now this is going to make some noise. All right. So keep a sharp eye out. And if you need to make anybody keep their head down so they don't put any holes in the gas bag, do that. All right. By whatever means necessary. All right. So he sparks up the engines and the fans start going. And you're not going fast, but you are moving straight out. Excuse me, straight out the sea cave there. You hear a shout. And from the next cave over, there's two figures, one relatively average, one short, that shout and yell. And the taller of the two starts whipping a sling around to huck a stone at you. What do you do?
I'll try to make the water come up like it did before, but try to stop the rock or something.
Go for it. Go ahead and give me a spellcasting roll, please.
Okay, that's promising. That's 10.
10. Okay. So, yeah, we'll call that like a shielding effect.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's not the biggest wave in the world, but it's like, not this that comes sloshing up. The slingstone hits it and makes it almost all the way through before heading to the bottom. Then Gletta says, you, pointing at Entropy and Whiskey, hold this up. So you're
Okay.
holding up the frame as he sparks up the kerosene on the air heater. All right. So the gas bag starts filling up with hot air. You're moving out of you're ducking sling bullets, though they probably can't do much to the ship or the gas bag, and you're moving directly away from the islands. All right. So let's see, you're headed in this, you're headed in this direction. Oops. Yeah. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. So, can you see it?
Yep.
Okay, beautiful. I didn't mean to do it that much, but okay, let's see. Can I move this away? Yes, I can. Okay, cool. So you're headed that direction. Apparently, the captain is steering between the two islands, and in case you can't get airborne, and the two figures behind you disappear back into the cave.
Well,
So,
that's rather frightening.
okay. So, you're the looks like Captain Gletta severely underestimated the amount of time it would take to fill up this hot air bag. So it's going again. Your arms are getting tired. It's going and going and going. And so,
So we're just kind of sitting out in the water, waiting for the balloon to
well,
expand.
no, he's steering the way with his, because again, the steering mechanism on this is basically two large fans hooked up to the motors are hooked up to the kerosene engine, so it's burning fuel and making a hell of a racket behind you. And everybody, let's see, No, you're all pretty busy. You probably wouldn't notice anything. Lever, you're not actually doing anything right now. Go ahead and give me a wisdom roll, please. I'm sorry?
I'm mumbling to myself. Where's the symbol to roll?
It's looks like a D20 off to your left. You can click on it and pick the number of dice. So if I wanted to roll 4D100, it goes like that. So give me 2D6 and add your wisdom bonus.
That was a very nice way, Miss Entropy. Very good job.
Oh, nice.
Honestly, I was really just doing whatever I thought might work.
Gotcha.
It's getting very worried.
All right. As you're steaming along and making a whole bunch of noise, Lever, you see something out in the water. You're not entirely sure. And again, you all are about, let's see. You're approaching those two islands, so you're all about here. Okay. And as you're looking out into the water, to the north of you, there looks like what looks like 4 or 5 heads, like head and shoulders popped up out of the water looking at you. You have a very vivid you make
Recollection of the runes.
Yeah, you make eye contact with one of these individuals. The impression you get is young, probably because kind of a round face. The other 4 faces are, shock and horror. This kid looks like the Airbus is the most amazing thing that they have ever seen in their eyes about this. Like, whoa, that kind of a thing. But as soon as they notice that you've noticed them, they all drop under the waves and disappear. So again, 4 probable adult type people, 1 very definite kid type person. All right.
So, do you remember that rune that said water danger?
Yeah.
I say out loud to Whiskey.
I vaguely recall.
You don't think that's it, do you?
What's it?
The people in the water?
There's people in the water?
Yeah, you didn't.
Only Lever saw that.
Right. Now,
Right.
here's a note to the group. Unless you tell me specifically, say you all go off scouting and you find the thing and the other thing and this bites you, whatever. When you make it back to everybody else, unless you tell me specifically that you're not sharing all or part of the information, I'm going to assume that you are. Lever, are you sharing that information?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. Whiskey and Entropy, you get a quick glimpse of 4 or 5 humanoid head and shoulders that as soon as and they go blurp and are gone. So the bad news is it takes about almost a half an hour, 20 minutes, 25 minutes to load up this airbag. Okay, and you've finally gotten some lift. You're finally up out of the water. Glada is actually going to have to steer around some of the higher points on the island to the north when he says in a very discouraged voice, "Oh, I was afraid of that."
What do you mean?
And you see over here, just rising majestically above the island, that other vessel. It's right.
A private vessel?
Yes, it's rising straight up. The ship's sails are set, and it's pointed. It turns to point directly at you. All right, and we're at 9:02 p.m. 90 minutes into our little fun escapade here. Time for a quick bio break, folks. Thank you, faithful viewers, for watching. Please stay tuned for the second half of our endeavor. And please stay tuned for a brief recap at the end of things. When next we meet, The Chase. Dun dun dun. All right, so go ahead.
Leave a message in the chat and we'll respond to you when we get back. Thank you all for watching.
And we're back. Thank you, faithful viewers, for tuning in. All right, so the plot is getting so thick you could cut it with a knife. All right, so the doty little Airbus, the seahorse, gracefully rises up out of the water, dripping and a little bit of barnacles and seaweed hanging off the side, and that's when the other ship rises above the island, Dolphin Island, and menacingly makes its way towards you. Gletta is at a complete loss. I don't know what we're gonna do. I can't outrun her, and we can't outfight her, and I don't nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Been nice knowing you.
You said you had a bomb?
I have bomb.
Well, wouldn't that be helpful here?
Me and Ern are on that boat.
We don't know
I will
that,
be
though.
worried.
Right,
Yeah, we don't know that.
right.
That's the main problem here, is we don't know where you are.
All right. So is anybody giving Captain Gletta any instructions at all?
Well, perhaps we could try to blow her up? I don't know. That doesn't seem like a thing I would think, though. I mean, I have this logbook. Perhaps we could try to reason with them to let us go.
Oh,
Blackmail.
so you want to talk to them? Is that it?
I mean, if we can't outrun them and we can't outfight them, I guess we have to talk to them, don't we?
Okay, she's gonna try to outthink them. Well, I'm not gonna panic about this because if I die, not gonna die panicked. All right, so open that box.
Yeah.
Open that box. I'm gonna need a white flag, and I'm gonna need the one with the big blue circle on it, please.
The big blue circle. This one?
Yeah. Yes, thank you. So goes back. He's got basically a flagpole toward the stern, and
Wait
he
a minute.
runs. What?
We can put the flag on the boomstick. Make them think we're surrendering, and then just launch the boomstick.
Okay. Gletta will tell anybody who asks. The white is we're not in it for a fight. The blue circle is we need to talk, basically. Open
Remind them.
communications are open. And he actually banks the engines blowing, and he turns you athwart so that they can get a good look at you. This other vessel very majestically approaches. They're high guard, so they're above you to rain down all sorts of unpleasantness. They reef sails, and they put out a little spinnaker against the prevailing winds to try to hold station. And the tall woman with the broad shoulders has a megaphone. Hail the vessel, heave to, and prepare to be boarded.
Oh, but if we get boarded, won't they just seize our belongings?
Yeah. You wanted to talk, right? And he picks up this. Be careful with this. I paid a lot of money for it. It looks like one of those little megaphones that you get at like a basketball game or a football game.
Mm-hmm.
It's only about this big, but it is made of some really nice leather. It's embossed and it's got a little handle on the underside. Just don't point it at me. Just be careful with it. I need that back.
All right. I'll hold that up to my mouth, confused. Halt!
Okay. Now, the megaphone, the little tiny megaphone, is obviously enchanted because you're loud, 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 loud. Okay. Luckily, the most of the sound is pointing that way. But if they have ears, they will very easily hear you, even at a conversational level.
I I take a deep breath and I'm like, okay, Drippy, you have to be aggressive and confident. And I hold it
Assertive.
back up to my mouth. Wait, what's it called? It's called a rhetor?
Rhetor, yes.
We are in possession of rhetor number 7.
Rhetor number 7, you say?
A very detailed and well-written one. If it is yours or someone else's, it has an incredible amount of encryption within its knowledge. And if you do not let us pass, with all of us and our friends intact, I will burn it.
Don't we
Oh,
also
well.
have rudder number 6?
Oh, yes, we have that one too.
Oh, you will. This is just a guess, but I would be willing to wager a shiny copper that you're missing a few friends right now.
Perhaps.
3 in number, and gives a brief and accurate description of your missing compatriots.
How convenient. I happen to have 3 items myself. And I hold up the sextant.
Books.
The books?
The sextant. I have 2 books in the sextant.
Didn't we have 3 books?
We have 3
3.
books, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Are you just keeping one of the
I'll
books?
hold up the 3 books then, instead of the sextant.
So the pirate captain squints down at you and has a spyglass brought. Click, click, click.
I conveniently hold it out for them to see.
So you have some pretty books. Read the first page.
I'll flip to the first page. How detailed of information does it contain?
Well, it's again, it's 2 journals and 1 rudder. The journals, it's something along the lines of it's from the writings of Captain Barber. Journal 7, Captain Barber, Captain Adolphus Barber.
Oh, these aren't for. I don't want to trade these guys, but we have to. This is going to be breaking so many laws.
So read it.
Captain Adolphus Barber.
There is a stir on the ship, and Gletta's head whips around. I'm sorry, say that again. From the journals of who?
Adolphus Barber?
Oh, I was wrong. I'm sorry. That wasn't the most valuable thing I've ever held in my hands. That's the most valuable thing I'm ever going to see in my life. Oh, McGird. And so he's waving. Yeah, there. All right.
I
So
look between whiskey and lemon, and I'm like, guys, I don't know if giving this away is a good idea.
Okay, we always have the boomstick.
But now
This
we
is
know they
true.
have our friends.
This is true.
If we can find out where they have our friends on the ship, we just don't blow that part up.
I'm not sure if that's how that works.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
The captain says,
That'll be fine.
I need to take a look at that journal. What would you take in exchange for that?
Does it seem like I could get more out of it than I planned initially?
The ship.
Nah, I don't think we could
Yeah,
wager that much.
Our friends and a bunch of money.
Well, we're all broke, aren't we?
Anyone can make wild claims there.
I don't
Your
know if I
Honor.
want to become a pirate. That was what I was hoping for when I was going to the mainland.
Pirate? You wound me. You wound me, madam. I am no pirate. I am a simple smuggler, among other things. Ah, well, it seems,
I would be willing to trade to allow you to look at the book in order as long as we get our friends back and their belongings without harm, and we do not speak of this altercation again.
All right. The other vessel, the sailors are running around. The other vessel suddenly starts to sink towards you. You're here, and it suddenly starts to lower. Glenda's like, yeah, liftwood. Damn, that stuff's expensive. I would really someday. And so the vessel, it's still slightly above you, and you have a lot of unfriendly faces looking over the rail with, crossbows and whatnot.
I do hold it like I am prepared to burn it, by the way.
Pretend to tear a page.
Give me a spell roll. Actually, no. You've got enough magical oomph. I'm gonna give this one to you. You've got a handful of flame. You're just sitting here holding the flame. What color is the flame, by the way?
Probably like red and purple.
Red and purple. All right. So you have a blue leather-clad book and a handful of red and purple flames. One could make the case that you look like you mean business.
I try to look very stern with my glasses. Like, I give the disappointed librarian look, like you're being too loud.
Nice. Okay, so this is going to be a cut a deal move. Cut a deal is based on charisma. And when you have leverage on someone and want to influence or manipulate them, you're going to roll plus charisma.
All right. Okay. Do I have any plus ones to this or no?
I think you've got a +1 based on the information that you got before.
Yes. So that is a 10, I believe. So barely a success, but it is a success. Full success.
All right. I am a reasonable captain, and a fair one, and a wise one, and a devastatingly good-looking one. So, prepare for a line. Oh, Gladys says they're going to throw a rope. Hold on. And so one of the sailors whips a weighted line over his head and hucks it over expertly, where it clears the rail, and it's got a monkey paw with something heavy in it. So you grab it. So we're going to trust each other a little bit, aren't we? And that's when your three friends are herded up on deck.
I suppose we shall, but I am no fool. And I am a devilkin. I will keep my word.
I've heard that. So, to show I am working in good faith, madam, I can arrange for a sling to send one of your friends over to you, and you shall, by all means, pick one of those books, send it back to me. I will look over my book, you will look over your friend, and if we both agree that we're happy with that arrangements, we'll make further one. Yes?
So what are the other books? What are the contents of the other books? Because I was able to look in those too.
2 journals, 1 rudder.
2 journals, 1 rudder.
Yeah.
But all of these seem valuable. I guess I have
They
to
are.
do 1 for 1, don't I?
They are. They're quite valuable. So since we beg your pardon, since we do have you at a disadvantage, I'll send your little friend over first. Oh, apple tree, I need a basket. So that line that they slung over that Gletta tied to a stanchion, they run it up to about 10 feet off the deck. And they bring out a little sling chair with a roller on it, basically. They stick let's see.
Probably Nora, right? Because
Yeah.
Nora's...
Yeah, Nora's being very passive. So they stick Nora on the chair, and a couple, 3 of them hoist her up and get her steady on the line, and then they just let go, and she rolls down the line. Gletta's like, "Oh, we're gonna have to stop her. We're gonna have to stop her." Grabs a cargo net and throws it out just in time for her to not smack into the hull, but definitely a little less gentle than anyone wanted. I'll move that line for next time, Captain. Sorry about that. And so you manhandle Nora up, and she goes and immediately sits down and throws. She's still got the blanket, strangely enough, but she throws it over herself and shivers a little bit. So, there is a what looks like some heavy twine attached to a basket with a closable lid. Okay. And the captain says, "Just put the book in the basket. Make sure it's nice and
Secure.
secured. Yes, and let us know when to haul away."
I'll put a journal in it first, and I'll signal them to haul away. What if I alter the encoded one in some way so that it's more difficult to decode it? Is that possible at all? I can't. I want to keep the encoded one.
Probably, but it might be a more advanced spell.
I don't know if I want to do that. We're probably not gonna. What is there? Does the sextant that we have, like looking at it again after knowing these journals are important, does it seem to be anything more important than it was before, or is it just a normal?
Hard to say. It is an exceptionally well-made sextant, but that just means it has all the bells and whistles as opposed to just a real simple steel model. You haven't really had a chance to examine it for things like magic, or if like the symbols match up with you just haven't had time to look.
That's fine.
But,
I'll go ahead and trade the second journal for the next person anyway. I don't want to make them wait.
So the captain steps back from the rail to take a look at this book, and she flips through it rapidly. Well, I would have to say that you are either an expert forger with a vast knowledge of the nautical and aeronautical realms, madam, or this does appear to be a genuine book by the hand of Captain Barber. In faith, I will send over both of your other compatriots. We will remain attached by the line. You will send over the other 2 books, and when I have established their bona fides, we'll cut the line and go our merry way. Agreed?
That seemed perfectly fine by me.
Okay, so that happens. You've got some expert sailors over there, aeronauts, as they say, and so your friends make it aboard with few problems. And you send over the other two books.
When my friends get over here, I'll double check with them that they have all of their belongings and they're unharmed.
Yeah, Thera has a few words to say about that.
Because that
Yeah,
was part
Thera
of that
doesn't
was
get in
part
that
of the
basket
deal.
willingly.
That was part of the
Thera
deal.
is demanding her locket back, like before they even send her off.
But of course, we're not savages here. We are civilized. You'll forgive me if I return the weapons in a separate basket, if that's all right. And
It's
again,
not a
who's got
weapon.
who's got
It's a necklace.
Please keep a civil head in your tongue when you are on my ship. I will not ask again. Clear?
I hold the book closer to the fire.
I'm just glaring at her. I'm just glaring. Thera's just glaring.
Schoolboy, front and center. Captain. Locket. Aye, aye, Captain. Hands over the locket, and Captain Forbes hands it to you very gently. You will see that your possession is safe, as are you. Fair?
Can I try and take it?
Oh, she's handing it to you.
Okay. I take it and I instantly put it around my neck and tuck it into my shirt area.
Madam Thera, what is it that you do for a living?
Healer.
I'm sorry, what?
What did I hold up. Because I know I said I'm a healer. What did I specifically say my job was?
Yeah, that's a good
It's been
question.
too long.
Like
It's been too long.
like an herbalist midwife type of person, I thought.
I was just the only healer in my village.
A slow grin crosses the captain's face. A healer. Ah, yes. If I had a doctor with such fire as yours, or a nurse fighting for my life under bad circumstances, I wouldn't give that ailment even odds of besting you. Keep your fire, little healer. Thy chariot awaits, and you're sent across. When she gets the next two books, she flips through the first one, nods satisfied, opens the second one, and freezes for just a moment. You would not want to play cards with this woman. She very, very little gives very, very little away, but she nods slowly and says, our dealings here are complete, but Captain Gleda, you have me at a disadvantage, Captain Forbes. Blackjack Forbes. I would say to remember it, but I'm hoping you'll forget it conveniently the next time you're questioned by authorities. And to that, allow me to give you a gift. And there's a package of something slid down the line. Gleda opens it and he starts to laugh and he waves. Thank you, Captain. Next round's on me when we meet again. I'll hold you to that, good Captain. Could you release that line, please? And he runs over and undogs it.
And
He's got
I use the microphone to say one more time. Our agreement is to never speak of this altercation again, yes?
Were I to tell someone, good lady, who would believe me?
As
I
you will.
ask. You have me at a disadvantage, madam. I am Captain Blackjack Forbes. When they start singing songs of your glory and tell tales of you in taverns, what name should I be listening for?
Entropy.
Entropy. Ah, Entropy, a powerful and puissant name against which everything struggles and nothing succeeds. I wish you fair travels and fair winds, my lady Entropy, and may we meet, if we do meet, under far better circumstances. You have given me much, much, much to think about. And she mutters a few commands to her crew. They reel up the line. Sails go up. The liftwood vessel rises like an empress from her throne, and they catch a wind, and they're off.
Entropy's like,
Gled,
oh god, that was really scary, guys.
Gled is still chuckling.
What did she give you?
Wait a minute.
Well, it's this tiny little keg. And it's got roses, like you know what I mean by a signet ring, where you have a pot of wax. This has got like a big wax seal on both ends. It's this beautiful rose, and they're script all over it. Do any of you read Elvish?
Yes.
Nope.
The elf
Okay.
wood. Or elf wood.
Okay. In Elvish, it's very clearly marked. It's refined kerosene. I think some people call it like white gas or white fuel. It's refined kerosene. And there's a little annotation under it that says perfumed. And Gleda's just rolling. Evidently, some folks, when they have the little kerosene lamps in their homes, they don't want it to stink like, carbon
Like
compounds.
kerosene.
Yeah, stink like kerosene. So there are some elven kerosene makers who refine it so it doesn't stink, and then add a little perfume to it, alcohol-based perfume to it, so it smells nice. So the fact that he's got 50 gallons of kerosene over here, keeping his vessel aloft and keeping it pointed in the right direction, getting a gift of perfumed kerosene, that's just chef's kiss. All right, so now that you're aloft, and now that the engine, he's keeping an eye on his engines and an eye on his fuel system like a mama bear with one cub. As you turn to head back into the Skylands, Whiskey, off in the distance behind you, you're standing at the stern, you hear that roar, that coughing roar that you heard before.
That thing sneak on the boat.
And you see something, those two little islands down there, the southern island, you see something slip up out of the water. It's dark red in color. You can't really get a good look at it from here. The shadows are wrong, and you think the thing might have planned that on purpose. But you have the absolutely certainty that it's looking at you. There's something large and deadly that crawled out of the water and is looking at your vessel as it retreats. And you blink, and the thing is moving faster than you could follow it, and it's gone back into the undergrowth and the trees. So, dun dun dun. Maybe a mystery for a later time.
Pull off my hat a little. My lord, the bears can swim.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Well,
Did my healing not work,
yeah.
Whiskey?
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a concern if that turns out to be the case. All right, so Gleda pretty quickly gets his bearings. Forsaken Reach, it's on the charts, so he's heading back into the Skylands. Of course, you are hopelessly overdue to your location. And the next destination is, of course, the big city. You do make a travel stop. There's a travel stop at a fairly unsettled one of the Skylands. Just some villages. It's fairly dry, and the soil isn't great, but there are a few people living out here. So Captain Gleda drops off some mail, picks up some other mail, takes a few coins in return for both, and he says, "Well, it'd be a shame to sell it, but if I ever need to get my hands on a double handful of jingle in a pinch, Elven kerosene should be just the gosh. That was I'm never going to get over that. That's amazing." Okay, so when next we meet, you will be approaching the big city in the area. I will give you as much information about that offline as I can. We're currently at 9:48, trying to wrap up here. So, end of session. Normally, did you all pick motivations and keys? Did we talk about motivations and keys?
I don't believe we
I'm
talked about
not
keys,
sure.
but
We
I
Okay.
think
did
we had
pick motivation.
Okay. Okay. So motivations for the
I'm not
viewing public.
that.
Motivations for the viewing public. A lot of games of this type talk about alignment. Okay. And alignment is supposed to tell you how you're supposed to act. Most of the games of this sort aren't very good at that, and it's very squishy. Motivation in this game is not very squishy. It's very specific. So if our warrior over here has a motivation to protect those weaker than them, anytime they protect those weaker than them, they get more experience. If the sneaky type over here has a motivation to get in and get out without being noticed, anytime they do that, they get some more experience. So if everybody would check your motivations, please. Check your motivations. And if you think you've hit your motivation, let's just go around once and see. Emmy, did you hit your motivation this round?
Yes, I believe I did.
What is it?
It was protect, heal, and help my friends. I'd say I protected Nora while she was kind of in the thing, and everything. And I also, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna. That's going to be part of a carryover from last session, because yes, your heart was in the right place, and you were trying to keep your group safe from these unknown individuals. So yes, mark experience. Let's see who else we got here. How about Mr. LaRoche? What was your motivation?
I don't believe I set a motivation up because I wasn't here for session 2.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I'll come back to you. Let's see. Then we have Lever. What is your motivation?
I wrote down my motivation as successfully use my knowledge and tools to help the party.
Oh,
You made a
okay.
I
bomb.
know if making. Yeah, I made a
Yes.
bomb.
You made a
So
bomb.
I
Yes.
probably shouldn't say that with the door open.
I'm going to give that to you because of the assistance that you gave Gleda in getting the engines up and moving. So mark experience. Entropy, what's your motivation?
To use my magic more and to use it to help my team. So I think I did that because I
You
got to
certainly
heal
did.
Whiskey.
certainly did. And again, it made for a credible threat against Captain Forbes. So excellent. Whiskey, what is your motivation, boss?
My motivation is to explore an exciting opportunity. I don't think I really did that. Not a lot of exploring today.
Okay. Okay.
You don't think so? I mean, we did like bargain with pirate ships, so.
Yeah, yeah. I'll tell everybody this. I have a fairly firm belief that the first 3 sessions of any character is kind of the shakedown cruise. Shakedown cruise is from the old days. You just kind of shake everything, see if any pots fell off the side. Basically getting everything settled. So if you're looking at your characteristics, your stats, and you're like, I put a big bonus in this stat and I haven't used it yet. Can I switch it around with this one? Yes. I said my motivation was like to combat unnatural threats. Well, we haven't really bumped into any unnatural threats. And it doesn't sound like we're going to. Can I change that? Yes, you may. So, I have an exhaustive list of possible motivations. I'll provide that to everybody. For those of you who are happy with your motivation, throw an eyeball on it at some point just to see if there's one in there that's just slightly better. It's kind of like those multiple choice tests, Choose the best answer. That's a good answer. This could be a best answer. And Mr. LaRoche, since you don't have a motivation picked, here's a gimme. Go ahead and mark experience anyway. We have not, just one. We haven't yet talked about keys, all right? Keys are basically annoying character quirks that you have. And you have them to the point that they can be triggered. Okay, it works like this. Maybe my key is notorious, all right? So to trigger that, you'd be talk about how harmless I am so I can prove that I'm not. Or maybe a key would be proud, make a demeaning command at me so that I can show you who's really boss, that kind of a thing. So keys don't hit every session, but anytime, tell me about a magnificent treasure that I can go herring off after, unwisely. Introduce me to somebody that I can fall in love with unwisely, that sort of thing. So sometimes keys are triggered just by the narrative, just your character finds himself in the wrong place at the wrong time. And sometimes you can choose to trigger other people's keys. Here's the thing. If you trigger somebody else's key, you get an experience. And if they follow their key, if they play out their character quirk, and it causes problems for the rest of the party, they also get experience. So we're going to talk about keys offline between this time and next time.
All right.
Last up, the big 3 questions. I'm sorry, what?
I already have an
I
idea
do
for
too. I
one.
think I have
Oh,
mine
I
too.
have multiple keys already.
Beautiful.
But
All right, so now the big 3 questions. First, did you learn something new about the nature of the world?
yes.
Yes.
Everybody mark experience. Yes, you did. You learned about a legendary captain, and you learned something about maybe a potential predator on a little island someplace. Second question. Did you recover a noteworthy treasure?
Yes.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Now, you did immediately give away 3/4 of it, but the sextant does count.
Yeah,
So
it's the key. It's the key.
Everybody mark experience. Third, did you overcome or defeat a noteworthy foe?
Yeah.
I would say yes.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And I don't believe that's going to be the last time we see
Nope.
Captain Forbes. I'll confess,
Boy, yes.
I like her a lot. All right, so everybody mark experience for defeating overcoming a noteworthy foe. Also, now we get into gold stars. All right, every one of you has a gold star that you're going to gift to another player. You can gift it to them for the thing they did that made you laugh, or the thing they did that made you cry, or the thing they did that made you think, or just because, whatever. You can give it for any reason or no reason. And we're going to go around and gift that. You just have to give it away, and that gold star is worth 1 XP. So let us start with the indomitable Thera, who gets your gold star for the evening.
I am going to say Levo gets my gold star because of the bomb on a spear, and I am very excited to see him use it.
Bomb on the
Oh,
stick!
That's gonna come back.
Good
That's
job,
gonna
Owen.
be relevant at some point. That's gonna be
That's
a big
going to
plot
be
point.
relevant at some point. That's already in my notes.
Is my boomstick.
By the way, if you want to look up, that's actually, there's an old tradition of bomb on a stick. It's called a sapping charge. You can look that up. And they were actually used against ships. So, hey.
Oh, what?
10 out of 10
Wow.
out of 10. Yeah. 10 out of 10. Originally the word torpedo was a bomb on the end of the stick, and when you got close enough, you just went boom against the enemy hull and blew a hole in it. So you can look that up. All right. So next up,
torpedo.
LaRoche, who gets your gold star for the evening?
I'm gonna say I'll give it to Thera. Cellmates. Nothing more.
Woot! Keeping it real.
I
Did you
was-
dime? Did you dime? Did you time? Excellent. Lever, who gets your gold star for the evening?
I still thinking, yeah.
We'll come back. Entropy, who gets yours?
I gotta give it to Whiskey. I think that plan to move the ladder was really smart, even if our execution was a bit questionable. I thought that was a pretty good plan.
Excellent plan. I firmly concur. Whiskey, who gets your gold star for the evening?
I'm gonna go with Entropy just for carrying that negotiation.
Thank you.
Finest kind. And Lever, have you made your choice?
Yes, I'm gonna give it to Whiskey because the option to either make a loud noise and not get hurt as badly, or make no noise and get hurt severely badly, almost got them killed.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they still chose to be silent.
They still were
Yes.
team player.
Yes.
Gotta commit to the bit.
Awesome. Yes. Yes.
If a large
100%.
man falls in an empty room, will anyone hear?
Yes. Yeah. No, I'm reminded. If anybody has seen the movie Dogma, when Chris Rock's character falls out of heaven and he goes and slaps into the concrete, and he's like, oh, that sucked. He just sounds so aggrieved. Falling out of heaven, that really hurt. Dang it. It's a good movie. All right. So also, I've been asked by other groups to give out a storyteller gold star. Here's how it works. If you all have kind of a boring, mundane game, then the gold star is worth a +1 bonus on the roll of your choice next time. If, however, it's an awesome, cool, hip, and groovy game like tonight, fantastic, all the role-playing, all the thrills, all the chills, we'll sell you a seat, but you'll only need the edge of it, kind of a game, then the gold star is also worth 1 XP. And I am going to have to hand that one off to Whiskey because... damn, son, that's you're hard. Oh, Snoop Dogg is over here going, oh yeah, no, Whiskey's all legit and stuff. Yeah, just did their time and like took it. Yeah, just took it right to the face. Didn't say a word. All right, so now a word about XP. You all have a handful of them. Typically, when you level up in the game, it's your current level plus 7 XP. Gets you to the next level. But you don't even have levels yet. You're all 0 level. So our current working plan in this lovely little play test is you can buy your way into a playbook. Okay. And by that, I mean, say one of the other games has got a thief type character. So they've got a move for sneaking around. They've got a move for picking pockets. They've got a move for finding traps, and they've got a move for poison. They know how to use poison. Okay. So if there's a particular playbook that you're looking at, and that'll be easier to do once I get them all written. But if there's a particular playbook that you're looking at, you can spend 3 XP in your trove to buy one of the moves from that playbook. Okay, so if somebody wants to be able to armored, for instance, you can ignore the clumsy tag on heavy armor, then you buy it. Buy that ability. That's probably going to involve you running around in heavy armor for a while until you figure out how to move in it accurately. If you want a weapon of choice, where you're able to build a signature weapon, 3 XP, and you can have that move, and you can find or create a signature weapon.
Your weapon of I feel like I'm sorry. I just saw he had a look in his eye, like he knew exactly what he wanted his signature weapon to be.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so, and again, these are playbook specific moves. So, at least at this point, I'm going to have you focus your attention on your what you kind of had in mind. I know at least one of you is interested in being some stripe of mage. I know one of you is interested in being some kind of ranger, maybe fighter, maybe engineer, whatever. So between now and the next time we game, I will have lots and lots of options for you. And there are options to pull moves from other playbooks. So you're mainly this thing, but you've got like a little special one over here. We can talk about that offline. All right, it is now 10:03, 10:08. I can't see.
10:03.
10:03 p.m. And so we got a hard cutoff at 10:15. Thank you, viewing public. Thank you, faithful viewers, for being here. We appreciate you deeply. We are doing many, many, many things. If you want to take a look at another system of a similar vein to this, Splintered Moon has just come up for publication. Links in comments, or soon to be in comments. And just if you're watching, make a comment on this video, please. Let us know if a 0 level character, steampunkish, mage punkish, airship, dashing smugglers type of setting, scenario, and system would be of interest to you. And we'll let you know when the system comes out. Current working title is Brass Horizon. So subject to change without notice. All right, folks. Thank you so much. Go ahead and count us out, please. Cheers. Game on.
Everyone, make sure to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, check out our other videos. This is a part of the series. And check out the other teams' videos as well. They're all super cool. So we'll see you next time, all right? Bye!
Bye!